here with Gypsyfae Creations. Thanks for tuning in. Today I am doing a drink-inspired soap from one of my favorite drinks that I don't get to have very often. It is a boba tea or a bubble tea or a Thai tea. You know, any of these things are great descriptions for them. People call it different things. So into my batter I just added some kaolin clay, and just because it makes sense for this video, I'm going to start using some coconut milk powder instead of the buttermilk powder that I typically use. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that to my batter here. I'm going to give it a little mix so that I can incorporate all that, and I'm going to add my sodium lactate and lye solution. Alright, so I've got that to a very light trace. If you're not familiar what Thai tea is, it is a Thai cuisine. It is a drink that is very creamy, very sweet, and it does have tea in it. And it has a very pretty like orange color to it, so I want to try and get that in there. The bubble part comes from the tapioca pearls that can be put into Thai tea. It is tapioca starch that is in a ball form, and it's a chewy type of texture to it, which adds a little bit of like a gummy to the drink texture. You can also add other things like puddings, jellies, beans. There's all kind of different things that go into a bubble tea, not just the tapioca pearls, but they're my favorite. Alright, so in this I'm adding my colorant. Added just a little teeny tiny bit of brown oxide in there to try and get that color. The fragrance oil I'm using is also supposed to discolor. It has like 2.3 or something as far as the vanillin in there, but I want to make sure it does get the right color, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that. I'm going to mix in some sunset orange mica in here and then split it into some titanium dioxide. I might have to continue adding a little bit of orange to this, but we will see. Alright, so let's just go with that color. And let's split this into the titanium dioxide, which I have a little story about. I ran into a little snag while setting everything up for the soap. I was pouring up my titanium dioxide and water in a little bowl, and I dropped the bowl. It just splattered all over the place and had to be cleaned up, and which is fine, you know, I make messes, it is what it is, but the problem was that titanium dioxide is very, very hard to clean up. It is like, imagine sunscreen, because that is an ingredient in sunscreen. It's a very white, thick paste that when you wipe it, it just smears everywhere, and I had it on the walls and on the floors and on the computer, and it just shot up to the ceiling all over me as well. So that was a fun time. Fragrance I'm using, I picked a coconut rice milk. Another reason why adding the coconut milk to this was a must. So I'm just going to give this titanium dioxide and soap batter a little mix, and then I'll add in my fragrance and we'll start pouring. Alright, so I stirred in my fragrance, and the notes in that fragrance are described as sticky, sweet, slightly spicy Thai dessert. We're accelerating here. Thai spices with creamy coconut milk, sugar cane, honey, and vanilla, which smells so good. Like, I am going to plop this into here. It's really accelerated. It has, you know, the titanium dioxide in it. The fragrance probably accelerated as well. Although I love this fragrance, I feel like I've smelled it before. It is so creamy, so delicious. It's not too much of the coconut if you don't like coconut, because I know it can be overwhelming and fake smelling, but this smells good enough to eat. I really get the honey and the milk in there. If you're a big fan of oatmeal and honey and almond fragrances, this is right up your alley. So the inside of the soap is going to have these little embeds in here. These are soap dough or leftover soap that I've rolled into the little boba or bubbles or the tapioca pearls. So I'm going to start by plopping that in there. And then I'm going to add all of these little tapioca pearls. And then I'll add a little more of the batter, and then I'll add a little more of these, and I'll just keep adding like layers of these to this, because hopefully when we cut into this we'll see those little balls, brown balls in there. So let me pour in some more of my batter, and they're just going to be suspended or floating in there. Add in the rest of the tapioca pearls. Willy-nilly everywhere. Although they're sticking to each other. Get out of there. There we go. They kind of remind me of giant rabbit turds. Not gonna lie. Not supposed to look like that. But when you cut into it, you'll get the idea. This is fine. I'm just gonna plop them in there like that. Having way too much fun with this. And then on the top of this soap, I'm going to add a little bit of creamy white soap batter, like a foam, I suppose, and then we'll add some ice cubes to it and some straws. Got these paper straws in here. Typically, if you're going to have a bubble tea, the straws are going to be a lot thicker, a lot bigger than your normal straws so that you can suck up those tapioca pearls. But to be practical here, they're just going to be regular paper straws. I'm going to also give this a little whack on the ground to make sure everything is settled and that there's not going to be any air bubbles in here. I want bubbles, but not air bubbles. So many of these. Gosh, I didn't know I made this many. I didn't think I would have enough. And I'm like, no, I have to make sure every bar gets some of them. And now I'm like, did I go overboard maybe? It was a little bit. It's okay. Bubbles for everyone. Alright, let me scrape out my bowl, add the rest of my the rest of my batter. And then I'm going to start mixing up the top of the soap. Alright, so I let that white batter set until I could pile it on top of the soap, and that is exactly what I've done here. So now I have to smooth it all out and distribute it all. And then I can texturize the top and add on the embeds on top. Okay, now that I got that where I wanted, finally, I'm just going to stick in the little paper straws, and I've cut them really short this time because I've learned my lesson on other soaps that I've added these paper straws to. They make it very difficult to package. And I actually want to put on some sparkle on this, so just a little shimmer on it before I get started, and then I'll add another shimmer when I'm done. Alright, that's good. Now back to the straws. Now I have to post a picture of one of the inspirational pictures that I found online when they keep sticking to my glove, when I was searching for pictures of bubble tea. I woke up to something really cool today as well. When I checked my email, I got a newsletter from Brambleberry, and if you're not familiar with Brambleberry, it is one of the biggest craft selling suppliers, like lotions, soaps. I get a lot of my things from them. If you make candles, they sell supplies, and they're one of the biggest suppliers in the US. They contacted me and they asked if they could use my picture, the candle, the ghost of Christmas past, in their newsletter as, like, you know, an inspiration for the holidays. And I was like, absolutely, I would love that. And so they did. I got that email this morning and there was my picture of my candle on there, so I'm really happy about that. Alright, let's get some ice cubes on here. On the other side, these are just clear melt and pour cubes that I've cut up. And then I'm going to stick 2 on each bar, I think. Last time I tried putting ice cubes on the inside of the soap before I put the icing on, it was a little bit of a disaster because the soap icing didn't stick to the base of the soap, and then when I cut it, everything fell off because I put these on in between the layers. I might try that again one day, but I really just want these to go on the top of the soap because I don't want that stress now. If you've never had a bubble tea or a boba tea or whatever you have, if you've never had one, because they have so many other names, and I'm just drawing a blank right now. Then other than bubble or boba, I think there's another name for them. I wouldn't be surprised because they are really located a lot in the big cities, so you might not have one. I know they've been popping up in shopping malls a lot. I've seen a couple. They're not very big around me until recently. I was exposed to them when I went to California. I lived in California about, do I really have to count? 10 years ago. And they were everywhere. They're kind of like snowball stands that are here in Maryland, or snow cones, or whatever you think is on the corner that you can go get ice cream, like an ice cream shop. It's kind of like that. They have bubble tea places everywhere in California and like LA, and of course there's a lot of Asian influence over there, and I loved them. And now they're slowly starting to come around here, which is more accessible for me, and I'm really happy about. And there's so many different flavors. Like, I like purple yam or ubi or red bean. That might be the Filipino heritage that I have. That's one reason why I might like those flavors. But there's like honeydew and chocolate, and it's just crazy the amount of flavors that you can get in a bubble tea, and then all the combinations. The one place down the street from me, you can tell them how much ice you want or how much sugar you want. It's just unbelievable. Alright, so I'm just going to top this off with a little bit more of Sparkle. This is a Snowflake Sparkle from Brambleberry. It kind of reminds me of the iced tea soap, only I put the ice cubes on the outside. So, there we have it. That is done. I'm going to give this a spray with the isopropyl alcohol, and we'll come back in about 24 hours to cut it. And super excited. And cut. Let's see. Oh, wow.
Look at that.
That's so cool. Does it look like Thai boba or bubble tea? I was thinking of pearl tea. I think that's the other name that they have for them. There's so many like different ways to say bubble tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like these things are called boba, or bubble, or there's like tapioca pearls. Or
Thai tea.
Pearl, but Thai tea is a flavor.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I was going with on this one. And I think I executed that color pretty well.
I think you did too.
The white in the pot swirl I was going for did accelerate a little bit. So it got more on the bottom than it did throughout.
I think it makes sense like that though, like when you drop the cream in.
No, I think the cream is more at the top though. They should put the cream in first.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I made so many of these little bubbles that I thought that there would be too many of them, but I think there's just a good number of bubbles in there. Gotta cut through some of these ice cubes. It smells really good. Can you smell it?
It smells very good.
You know, your sniffles.
Yeah, I'm sick.
I'm sick.
I'm sick.
Or Bradley. What's your favorite flavor of bubble tea? Because you know every time we go out, I usually pick for you.
Yeah, I don't
because
really
it's like,
it, yeah.
You don't like him?
No, not
Why?
anymore. I think I've had enough. But if I had to choose, I would choose this flavor, Thai tea flavor.
I'm surprised.
Or matcha.
Matcha. There you go. See, that's the flavor Bradley likes and everything. That
Green.
green drink.
I like the green drink.
But usually when we go places, it's like, I think I want this flavor and this flavor, so Bradley, you drink this one and I'll drink that one. And then really they're both mine.
Yes. It's the same for alcoholic beverages as well.
Well, we're going to go out and buy some stuff to make bubble tea. For the first time, we're going to try and make it in ourselves.
Wow.
We're going to go to the Asian market down the street and get some stuff to make it. I'm excited.
When's that?
Today. And then you're going to have to drink it. At least it'll be in your favorite flavor then.
Okay.
If you had to choose, you chose this flavor, so we'll make this one.
Okay.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. You can even hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted to when my videos are uploaded. Any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, I hope you have a very nice day, and I'll smell you later.
Anything else? Regular size? Mango milk tea with the pearls and the hazelnut chocolate with the pearls. Thank you.
Great straw.
Alright. It tastes like Count Dracula, like the cereal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's too many to choose from, and I got a chocolate berry milk tea with bubbles in it. So much easier by making it.